Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. It's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. Lamar Jackson and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Deshaun Watson and the Seattle Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. This is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The Niners take over first.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his third season now for Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
They're hoping to get rid of that interception bug. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, his Pro Bowl tight end, was the target. And it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rashaan Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Jackson. Fitzgerald on the slant. And he's got this down to the 35. 49ers. The numbers for Fitzgerald from last week. 4 catches, 60 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson.
Oh, fuck.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. The second-year man, Max Crosby, the one who brought him down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw is Jackson. He's going to take off with it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against it, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
This is Ingram. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
He was brought down by
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd.
You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Calvin Ridley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll.
Leading them out, their 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback in his 4th season now from Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's
it was
game.
good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you got to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 15 carries, 59 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A shotgun snap for Watson. Being chased out left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Complete.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now Drake.
God damn.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks, nothing.
The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Watson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Dalton Keene with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Hopkins with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the line.
And now the ball's out. Fumbled near
Oh, that's
midfield.
bullshit.
And the Seahawks have picked it up. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up.
Oh, that's
1st and goal
bullshit.
right at about the 6-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice
That
to be more
motherfucker was
secure with the
down.
ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going.
Oh, hell no. There's nothing to challenge my ass. Oh, these sons of bitches just robbed me.
Lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
Dirty bag.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20-20 eyesight.
Better watch out. They might come up with down 14 damn extra points after the game's over. They
then they will
think.
keep possession.
Fumble my ass. what I thought.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
Mark Ingram.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
These two rivals played two of the better games in the NFL a season ago. You remember week 17, it was Dre Greenlaw stopping Jacob Hollister at the 1 to preserve a 26-20.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
God damn.
The pass. Fumble on the play.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Jalen Ferguson.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
This pass into the arms of Snead. And he gets it down to the 32.
A gain of
Damn
9 yards.
transfer back there.
The 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
Touchdown, Seattle.
Darius Slayton, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Danny Amendola on the return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. And everyone in this building probably knows he's close to 2,000. We'll see if he can make that final leap and get over the mark. Either way, what a year he's had.
There's only one group that's not happy with what they're watching right now. That's the guys playing defense. Their pride's on the line as well, trying to prevent him from getting to that barrier. Well, guess what? Everything is going against them. Offensive line wants it. Receivers want it. Coaching staff, organization, and especially him. Over 2,000 yards, that makes you immortal in the NFL.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll run on first down. Ingram. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Preston Smith on
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
right there, 54, right there, 54 miles.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson flushed out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I'm I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. From the gun on third down, Jackson. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing at the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
They'll run for it. It's Ingram.
Oh, shit.
Absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Christ.
And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Watson off play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. Throwing on third down, Watson.
Hell yeah.
And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Watson.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters. And this is what he's always had. And that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
On first down, it's Ingram. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And you know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence. And
it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown, 49ers. Jared Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown just puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, Watson, catch made by Slayton. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now a first down throw, Watson. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Clay Matthews brings the heat and gets the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get started out in Denver. And late in the first half, it's the Broncos who are out on top. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. From there, we head eastward to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. 38-17, the final score. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. 23-17, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taken about 7 yards deep, and we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan showing you.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett.
Watson.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third.
Third down.
Operating from the gun. Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. So a stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
Here comes Amendola. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do in the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Ingram again. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
1 yard loss.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Now Benjamin. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
2 yards.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From just shy of midfield, Watson looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Drake. Now Drake loses the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well. But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he finds Cook. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
Mark
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Mark Ingram, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have moved down in front. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14.
Seahawks 14. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded in the end zone.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
At the 28-yard line.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. That's complete to Slayton. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On first down, it's Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35-yard line. Throwing again is Watson. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Greg on the carry.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
First and 10. At their own 20.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Brought down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. From the gun, Jackson. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third. It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had one tight end that went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage, and you'll see more big plays from the wide receivers downfield.
And a tackle there by Quan Alexander. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll keep it on the ground. Ingram. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
You got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
63 yards receiving for him now. That last catch good enough for a first down. What a difference a week makes. 5 interceptions in their last game. Here we are, fourth quarter. He's played mistake-free football.
And I'm sure that we can look back on the past week and say, okay, coaching staff believing in you. Doing that in this game.
And a 20th carry now for Ingram. 34-yard line. Ball carrier. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run pass.
He may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of a...
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. They'll keep it on the ground. Ingram. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The Niners on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Ingram. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10.
Niners 24.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off to put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Seahawks take back over, and the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. On 1st and 10, Watson. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Again, it's Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Watson looks to throw again. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Ingram. Down right around the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Ingram. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking for the end zone. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Is good. Makes the score Niners.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard.
So Deshaun Watson in the offense, down by 13, a minute 51 on the clock. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. From the 50, it's Watson. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off near the 42. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really fading.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Mark Ingram, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's brought down.
Conversion is successful. That makes the score.
And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Taken in the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He'll get this to his running back, Benjamin. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It's a game.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A shotgun snap for Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
Watson's pass.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15.
Watson's pass.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Hell yeah.
Today's final
So
score.
the victory here for San Francisco, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Niners, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaunt.